Hello YouTube, welcome back to another part of What If Goku Trained Deku. If you're enjoying this series so far and want to see more, please be sure to like and subscribe to me get into the algorithm and all that. And yeah, also don't, when you subscribe, be sure to subscribe with notifications on as well, so that you don't miss a future part of this series. I plan to do all of My Hero Academia, the complete story, because I'm pretty sure that at the bare minimum the manga will end when I reach, say, probably around the first war arc. Anyways, yeah, I won't be taking up any more of your time. Enjoy the video. The day after the sports festival, Deku was flying to school when he saw Ida at the UA entrance. Midoriya, why are you late? Ida asks. Deku scratches the back of his head and says, I kinda overslept. The fight with Kachan took a lot out of me. Also, aren't we 5 minutes early? You're right, but to be worthy of being UA students, we must arrive at least 10 minutes early to prepare for activities, Ida says. Right. Oh yeah, also, Uraraka told me about your brother, Deku says. I see. Well, you don't need to worry. I'm sorry for causing you both unnecessary concern, Ida says. He then goes on to change the subject. I heard you won the sports festival. Congratulations. Thank you, Deku responds. The two head to class, where Aizawa tells them about the internships. The whole class looks on in shock at seeing the amount of requests under Deku's name. Whoa, did every agency in the world ask for you? Asked Mineta. Maybe, but either way, I already decided where I'm gonna go, says Deku. How? You haven't looked at the list yet, asked Zero. Before Deku could answer, Aizawa tells the whole class to shut up and introduces Midnight, who will help them pick out their hero names, which goes the same way it does in canon. That afternoon, Deku arrived home and he and his mother threw a party to celebrate Deku winning the sports festival. Goku, Vegeta, Broly, even All Might was invited. Inko was a bit overwhelmed at having the number one hero at her house at first, but she eventually got over that and really got to know him along with the three Saiyans. Deku then asked Goku if he would like to train him during the internships, to which Goku responds, no. What? But it's a full week of training. I thought you'd like that, says Deku. Don't worry, kid. I'll still train you from time to time. But it's important to get training from multiple people. I've had lots of different people train me over the years, and it's really helped me out a lot, says Goku. All Might then joins the conversation and reveals to Deku that his old master would like to train him during the internships. Deku notices that All Might was shaking while saying this and thinks to himself, damn, this guy must be scary. Goku then says, that's awesome, Midoriya. He should be able to help you get better control of one for. All Might covers his mouth. Careful, Miss Inko was still in the room, says All Might. Ah, right, sorry, says Goku. Alright, if you guys think I should, then I'll do it, says Deku. That's the spirit, says Goku. In that moment, Inko calls everybody over for dinner. Inko, All Might, and Deku were all stunned upon seeing the insane appetites of the three Saiyans. That tastes awesome, says Goku. Can I have some more? I want more too, says Vegeta. Me too, please, says Broly. But, but we're out of food, says Inko. The three Saiyans are disappointed by this, so All Might just sighs and says, alright, if you want more food, I'll buy you some after the party. Awesome! Thanks, All Might, says Goku. Thank you, says Broly. The party ends, and All Might leaves along with the three Saiyans to get more food. Izuku, the next time they visit, remind me to buy more food, says Inko. Deku just laughs and says, right, sorry, Mom. The next day, Goku and Vegeta go to UA to visit Nezu. Ah, Goku and Vegeta, was it? To do what do I owe the pleasure? Hey Nezu, Vegeta and I are here because we heard about the internships, and we'd like to train two of your students, says Goku. Ah, yes, I'll call Midoriya right over, says Nezu. Actually, I told him to train somebody else to get more experience, says Goku. Oh, right. Then who would you two like to train? Asked Nezu. Goku and Vegeta name the students they would like to train, and Nezu calls over Uraraka and Bakugo. What the hell is this about, you damn rat? Says Bakugo. But Bakugo, says Uraraka. Well, you see, I've called you up here today because these two gentlemen would like to train you for your internships, says Nezu. Goku and Vegeta introduce themselves. So, are you guys heroes? Asks Uraraka. Not necessarily. However, we trained Midoriya. We'll teach you everything he's capable of doing, and more, says Vegeta. Bakugo smiles as Uraraka asks, Wait, so that's not a quirk? Nope. Everything you've seen Midoriya do, he does by using something known as ki. It's energy inside all of us, and we're gonna help you tap into it, says Goku. Katsuki Bakugo, I must admit, your strength and power you displayed at the sports festival wasn't half bad. Train with me, and I'll make you stronger than you could ever imagine, says Vegeta. And Uraraka, you really surprised me during the sports festival. I think you've got a lot of potential. Learning how to use ki might be hard at first, but I'm sure you can do it, says Goku. So what do you say? They both agree to train under Goku and Vegeta. Excellent. I've already set up training stations for you to use at UA, says Nezu. Awesome, thanks Nezu, says Goku. On the day of the internships, Uraraka meets up with Goku on the training area Nezu prepared. Wait, isn't Deku gonna train with us? Asks Uraraka. Nah, I tried him to train with somebody else to get more experience, Goku responds. Why? Wouldn't he benefit more from training with you? Goku then responds, Not necessarily. See, I've trained under lots of different people, and all the lessons they've taught me have helped me out a lot, even today. I don't want Midoriya to only learn from me. I want him to create his own path by combining the fighting styles of others as well. Uraraka smiles and says, Yeah, makes sense. So what's my first lesson? Goku thinks for a bit and then decides it'd be best to focus on combat training for the time being, which she struggles with a little. However, due to them only having a week, Goku decides to teach her the image training technique on the second day so that she can improve on her combat on her own, while he teaches her how to use Ensen's ki. Meanwhile, Bakugo learns how to use ki insanely quickly, which impresses Vegeta. Alright kid, time to spar. Show me everything you've got, says Vegeta. Fine, don't blame me if you die, says Bakugo responds. You, kill me? Don't be a fool, says Vegeta. Bakugo launches himself at Vegeta, combining his quirk and a ki blast to create a huge explosion. Vegeta just stands there and tanks the attack. Through the smoke, Vegeta grabs Bakugo's face and says, You call that an attack? How pathetic. Vegeta then throws Bakugo into the air and shoots a ki blast. Bakugo was able to recover in time and dodge it. Good, you didn't die. Now come at me, Vegeta says. Bakugo then shoots a barrage of ki blasts at Vegeta, how Vegeta easily deflects them. Bakugo then uses Howling Impact. In response, Vegeta shoots a ki blast. The two attacks connect in a huge explosion, catching the attention of Uraraka and Goku. What the hell was that? She asks. That's probably Vegeta and Bakugo sparring, says Goku. That was sparring? Says Uraraka. Goku just laughs and says, Yeah, Vegeta can be pretty ruthless. But he knows what he's doing, says Goku. I hope you're right, for Bakugo's sake, says Uraraka. Vegeta then sees Bakugo falling from the sky and catches him by the leg. I'm somewhat impressed. For a moment there I thought you wouldn't survive, says Vegeta. Bakugo then uses both of his hands and unleashes an explosion at Vegeta's face. While not actually hurting Vegeta, this attack did surprise him enough for him to lose his grip. Seems this kid is willing to do anything to win, Vegeta says internally. Bakugo then slowly gets up as Vegeta says, "Alright, kid, that's enough for today. Get some rest." "But I can still fight," says Bakugo. "Don't be a fool. You can barely stand, let alone fight. We'll continue tomorrow," says Vegeta. The next day, Goku teaches Uraraka how to fly, which she masters in a few hours, impressing Goku. "Wow, you got the hang of that a lot faster than I thought you would," he says. "Yeah, I think it's 'cause I got used to my quirk when I was young," says Uraraka. "Yeah, no kidding. Alright then, I think it's time to teach you how to shoot Ki Blast," says Goku. Uraraka nods and the two continue their training. Meanwhile, Deku and Gran Torino were on a train passing through Hosu City when they were attacked by a Nomu. Gran Torino fights the Nomu and tells Deku to stay on the train. However, he doesn't listen and instead flies out of the train to find Ida. Deku senses Ida's ki. "Damn it, it's decreasing. He must have found the hero killer. I have to hurry," he says. Meanwhile, Stain has pinned Ida down with his sword. "You and your brother are weak, because you're both fakes," says Stain. Ida then screams at Stain, defends his brother, and says he'll kill him. Stain then responds to this empty threat by pointing at the native hero and says, "First save him. You only came here because of your own selfish desires, not to save anyone. That's the furthest thing from a hero." In that moment, Deku arrives from above and kicks Stain off of Ida. "Midoriya? What? Why are you?" Ida questions. "I'm here to save you," Deku responds. He then goes on to ask, "Can you move?" "No, not since he stabbed me. Must be his quirk," Ida says, as he then goes on to say, "Midoriya, get out of here. This doesn't concern you." What are you?" Deku questions as Stain goes on to say, "You came here to save him? That's noble. However, I have a duty to kill these men. If you choose to butt in, then, of course, I may have to kill you as well. What will you do now, hero?" Deku briefly thinks about carrying Ida away, but then notices the native hero and then concludes that it would be best to hold off Stain until help arrives. With this in mind, he texts his location to his classmates in hopes that at least one of them is in Hosu. Ida then begs Deku to leave, to which Deku responds, "If I did that, then I can't call myself a hero. After all, butting in when you don't need to is a prime quality of a hero." Stain smiles as Deku shoots a ki blast at him. Stain dodges, and Deku rushes towards him. Stain prepares a counterattack. However, the blast Deku shot before hits Stain in the back, and Deku follows this up with a punch to Stain's gut at 1 for all at 5%. This sends Stain flying back, however he manages to land on his feet. So he can control those blasts after he fires them. This will be harder than I thought, Stain says internally while Deku thinks, "Good. He didn't get me. I don't have to win. I just have to hold him off until help arrives." Deku then shoots a barrage of ki blasts at Stain. However, he cuts through them and eventually closes the distance between them. Stain attempts to slash Deku, but he infuses his hand with ki and blocks Stain's attacks, and then repels him. "Damn, this kid's full of tricks," Stain says to himself. Stain then goes for another attack with his sword. However, Deku blocks it again. Stain then tries to sweep Deku's feet. However, Deku dodges by jumping over it. In that moment, Stain uses his sword and cuts Deku's face. Deku then kicks Stain away. However, Stain blocks the kick and licks his sword, paralyzing Deku with his quirk. Damn it, Deku says to himself. Deku then falls to the ground as Saiyan says, "That wasn't half bad, kid. I can tell you fought with everything you had to protect those two. So for that, you're worth keeping alive. Can't say the same for those two, though." He then walks over and was about to kill Ida, but in that moment, he has to dodge flames shot by Todoroki. "Midoriya, for things like this you need to leave a more detailed message. Now I'm late 'cause of you," Todoroki says. Deku then warns Todoroki about Stain's quirk and the two begin to fight. Meanwhile, Iruka is on the floor panting. "Alright, I think that's enough training today," says Goku. "Damn it, I still wasn't able to shoot Ki Blast," says Iruka. "Yeah, but don't worry. Getting this stuff isn't easy, and I'm really impressed with how fast you're picking this up," says Goku. Iruka thanks him and then goes to check her phone and sees Deku's message. "That's odd. He only sent me his location," Iruka says internally. "He wouldn't do that for no reason. Wait, what if—" She then calls out to Goku. "Yeah, what's up?" Goku asks. "Deku sent me a message, only his location. I think he's in trouble," Iruka says, panicked. It might be nothing. I'll sense his ki to be sure," says Goku. A few moments later, Goku locks onto Deku's ki. Midoriya seems to be okay, but there are 4 others close by him. Out of the 4, 2 of their powers are slowly decreasing. "He might be in trouble. He might be fighting a villain. We have to help him," says Iruka. "Okay, I'll head over there and see what's up. You stay here," says Goku. "But I want to help him," says Iruka. "I know how you feel, but you're too tired from today's training. You'd only get in the way," Goku responds. "But just trust me. Everything will be okay, I promise," Goku says, and then uses instant transmission to teleport to Deku's location. Back to the fight with Stain. His quirk has worn off on Deku, so he rejoins the fight. He and Todoroki begin to discuss their plan of attack when Goku arrives. "You guys okay?" he asks. "Yeah. Can you get those 2 out of here?" Deku asks. Goku nods, and before anyone could react, "Midoriya, the fight isn't over yet. Backup's gonna show up soon, so we gotta stall him until they get here," says Todoroki. "Got it. You're losing a lot of blood, so I'll attack him up front and get his attention. I'll be counting on you for support," Deku says. Todoroki nods as Stain says, 2-on-1. This won't be easy." Deku then uses one for all at 5% and begins jumping back and forth off the walls, moving like Gran Torino, landing quick blows on Stain. His movements are hard for even Stain to read. However, over time, Stain sees the pattern in Deku's attacks and was about to counter. But before he could, Todoroki sends a pillar of ice towards Stain, separating both himself and Deku. "I can't handle them both, and both of my targets are gone. I have to find a way out of here," Stain says internally. He then jumps off of Todoroki's ice that he used earlier in the fight to try and escape. However, before he could, Deku knocks him back down. While Stain was falling, he throws a small knife aiming at Deku's leg. However, Deku dodges. Todoroki then shoots fire at Stain. However, Stain dodges this attack by stabbing one of his blades into the wall. He then rushes towards Todoroki, avoiding all of his attacks, leaving himself wide open to get hit by a ki blast from behind that was shot by Deku. This ki blast stuns him long enough for Todoroki to shoot him with fire, finally knocking the hero killer unconscious. Gran Torino and some other pro heroes show up to see the 2 boys tying up Stain with some rope they found in a nearby dumpster. Gran Torino then kicks Deku for disobeying him. Sometime later, both Deku and Gran Torino notice a flying Nomu. Gran Torino tells everybody to duck while Deku shoots a ki blast at it. The Nomu tanks the ki blast and takes Deku. Stain then breaks free from the rope with a tin knife, licks the blood of the Nomu of her hero's face, and kills it by stabbing it through the brain. Both Stain and Deku come crashing down as Stain begins to speak. The fakes that overrun society, and the criminals that wave their power aimlessly. Those are the targets of my purge. All of this is for a just world. In that moment, Endeavor arrives and sees Stain. So you're the hero killer, he says. Another phony has arrived, Stain says. Endeavor starts to charge towards Stain, but is stopped by the pure pressure of Stain's killing intent. The meaning of the word hero has been lost. Someone must stain themselves in blood in order to restore it. Come at me, you fakes. I'll take you all on. I can only be killed by a true hero. All Might, Stain says before preparing to fight the heroes once again. However, before he could, one of his broken ribs punctures his lung and he loses consciousness. Stain was arrested while Deku and Todoroki were sent to Hosu Hospital, which is where they met up with Uraraka, who was teleported in by Goku, Ida, and along with Goku himself. Uraraka ran up to Deku as soon as he arrived at the hospital, and asks, "Oh my gosh, Deku, are you okay?" Deku blushes and responds, Yeah, thanks to Todoroki." Uraraka then turns towards Todoroki and says, "You fought Stain too?" "Yeah, I came as soon as I figured out the true meaning behind Midoriya's message." Todoroki responds, "You should really leave more detailed messages next time," says Uraraka. "That's what I said," says Todoroki. I know, I'm sorry," says Deku. Ida then approaches them and bows his head with tears in his eyes. He apologizes, saying that he was the one who inherited the Ingenium name, and he was the one who had to defeat Stain. But in the end, he was helpless and had to watch as his friends shed blood on his behalf. Deku was about to speak, but Todoroki speaks up first. "You inherited it? That's funny. The Ingenium I saw never made that face." "I know there's probably a lot happening with your family behind closed doors." Todoroki then thinks about his fight with Deku at the sports festival, his visit to his mother after the sports festival, and putting aside his pride to join his father's agency as he continues. "You don't have to apologize, class rep. Just look properly at what you want to be next time." Ida wipes his tears and lifts his head as Deku says, "I'm sorry too. You were bottling up so much, but I completely overlooked that, even though we're friends." "Yes, and in the end, I did the same thing without realizing it. I should have I should have put more of an effort to reach out to you. I'm really sorry, Ida," says Uraraka. Ida then begs his friends to not blame themselves for his actions. He goes on to say that he was so blind and couldn't see anything. Uraraka then puts up a bright smile and says, "We all make mistakes, but what's important is that we learn from them, right?" "Yeah, that's right. We'll use this experience and become even stronger and even better heroes," says Deku. Uraraka nods her head as Ida wipes away his tears and thinks to himself, "They were all so far ahead of me." Deku wasn't that injured in the fight with Stain, so he was dismissed from the hospital fairly quickly and spent the night with Gran Torino while Goku and Uraraka headed back to UA. The next day comes around. Deku and Uraraka go to visit Todoroki and Ida at the Hosu hospital. "How are you guys doing?" asks Deku. Ida says, I got my results for my physical test. So how'd it go? Asked Raka. Before Ida could answer, Manuel comes to visit the boys, along with the chief of police for Hosu City. Ah, Izuku Midoriya, you're here too. That makes this easier, says the chief. Wait, sir, what do you want with Deku? Uraraka asks. This actually regards the three boys that fought Stain. The chief responds. With regards to the hero killer himself, he sustained serious burns, bone fractures, and other injuries. He is currently undergoing treatment. The police and heroes have strict rules and protocols they must abide by. Unfortunately, you three do not have your provisional license, and as such, by fighting Stain in the manner that you did, without supervision or direction, you broke the rules as you used your quirks of your own accord. As such, you three, along with those responsible for you, Gran Torino, Manuel, and Endeavor, shall be punished. Wait a sec, sir. If Ida didn't attack Stain, then Native would have been killed, and if Midoriya hadn't shown up, then both of them would have been killed. And you wouldn't have caught him, says Todoroki. Yes, that is correct, the chief responds. Todoroki then explodes. So are you suggesting we just follow the rules and let more people die? He yells. The chief responds, and are you suggesting that as long as everything turns out okay, you can break the rules? Excuse me, sir, but I thought saving people was what heroes do. It seems unfair that you're punishing them for saving Ida and the native hero, says Uraraka. Goodness me, this is why you're still green, says the chief. What did you say, you damn dog? Says Todoroki. That's enough, Todoroki. He has a point, says Ida. That's not all I have to say, says the chief. That was my opinion as a police officer. But punishments are only as severe as the crime itself. However, since the number of witnesses are limited, perhaps we can make a compromise. We'll make a public announcing saying that you three were attacked by the hero killer and saved by Endeavor. As a result of this, you cannot tell anyone outside of this room what actually happened, understood? The three boys nod their heads and accept these terms and thank the chief. Good. Along with that, those responsible for you shall be unable to teach for the next 6 months. Hearing this, Ida apologizes to Manuel. Manuel simply hits Ida in the head and tells him not to do it again, which Ida promises that he won't. The chief, Manuel, Deku, and Uraraka all leave the hospital and part ways. So what are you gonna do now, Deku? Uraraka asks. Honestly, I have no idea, Deku responds. Maybe you could come with me and train with Goku, Uraraka says. Are you sure? I mean, Goku was the one who told me to train with somebody else after all, Deku says. I'm sure it'll be okay. I mean, Deku's a nice guy. I'm sure he'll understand, says Uraraka. Well, I guess that settles it then, Deku responds. Yo, this video didn't take a month to come out. That must mean I'm getting better at this. Well, at least that's what I keep telling myself. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe in order to not miss out on a future part of this. It probably won't be coming out for a while. Sorry on that, but you know. I'll try my best to get it out as soon as I can. Anyways, yep, that's gonna be all from me. Have a good one. See ya.